Okay guys, for your final, I'm going to have you use this template right here and this photograph right here, using these instructions right here to make this sample newspaper page. I started talking to you about it yesterday. Today I'm going to sort of do the whole thing start to finish and show you how to put your name on it, where to put your name, and how to print it and turn it in. So we started with this download. If you didn't download the things you need yet, you can either right-click and download, or you can open it up and it'll tell you to download it. You're going to need to do that with the picture too. Once you have them downloaded, they'll be in your downloads folder. There they are. There's the thing, and there's the picture. If you open it up, it'll open up in InDesign. Now I'm going to go through this pretty quickly, but you can pause it whenever you want to pause it. So far at the top where it says sample newspaper is all set, and you see how that's on a locked layer right over here? Everything else is on this layer called page design. That's the part you're going to edit. Right here I'm going to take my headline and I'm going to highlight it and change it to Palatino Linotype. The second thing I'm going to do is make it bold, and the third thing I'm going to do is make the sizes different. The top headline in my directions was 48 points and the subhead was 23. So if I highlight the top head, I pull it down to 48, it actually disappears, but it's not gone. It's just that this box was too small, so I have to pull it back down. See that? I used the black arrow so that I can see the whole box. Let me move this out of the way so I can see better what I'm working on. This is my subhead. I'm going to highlight that with the type tool. It's right there. And I'm going to change it to 23 points. Now if I pull this down, there's 24 and there's 18, but there's no 23. If you pull it to 24 and then push this little arrow down, or you can just go type 23 in there, it will work. So if you're looking for a specific size like that, here, let me switch to my arrow. And then I'll pull this down. So now I've got the headline right where I need it. Now I'm going to find that my rulers need to be reset. I'm going to pull the rulers out from the corner. You see how that works? I'm pulling them out from the corner. Wherever I drop this, that's going to set 0 on my ruler. So I'm going to pull the rulers out and put them to the bottom of the descending letter of this headline. That is the lowest point of this whole headline, is the P and the G in this word. Let me zoom this back out. What I'm looking for at this point is a 1 pica measurement. All these columns are 1 pica, they're 1 pica apart from one another. A pica is 1/6 of an inch, and it is a measurement very often used in desktop publishing. So what I'm going to do is pull this up to that 1 pica measure. Now I'm going to get my columns just right. This goes all the way across. I'm going to grab the handle and pull it back. Oops, too far. And set it so that it hits the edges of the column, just like this. You want to be pretty precise with this. The more precise you are, the more professional you end up looking. Now, I'm going to double click on one of these words. It highlights just one word or one sentence. If you hit Control and A on your keyboard, it highlights the entire story. That's where you can check. It's Times New Roman, it's regular, it's 11.5, that's good. Right here, you're going to justify it with the last line aligned left. So watch the difference. If you look at this text, justified with the last line, ragged right. We need it justified. When we write news stories, we justify those pages. Next, we're going to highlight this top piece, the byline, and we're going to make it small caps, just like this, and we're going to make it bold, just like that. Finally, if you hit Control A again, you're going to go to Type right here and pull it down to Tabs. That's where you're going to set up your 1 pica tab. So all the paragraphs will be indented by 1 pica. This top triangle pulls in a pica, 1P0, and now literally every time the new paragraph appears, it'll be indented by 1 pica. I'm going to leave that for the time being because right now I want to go and figure out the photograph. I put a photo frame box in here. It's got an X in the middle of it. That's what a photo frame box looks like. You can use literally any box, but I'm using this one that's specifically designed for that task. So this is the box. And I would like it across these 2 columns right here. It's exactly the width of these 2 columns. But I would also like it to be lining up with that 1 pica measure. So I'm going to pull it up just a skosh. And now it is, oops, just scoot it over just a little. I want it to line up with the columns really well. There we go. So now that is in the right place, now I can put the photo in it. What I can do now, since it's selected, is go to File and say Place. And when I go to File and I say Place, I'm going to go to my Downloads folder and find that picture that I had of the fruit. There it is. Now the picture of the fruit is a little large. You know what, I'm going to close this box for a minute. Picture of the fruit is a little large, so I'm going to use this white arrow, the direct selection tool, and click on it. When I do, I see the edges of the actual photograph. Now I'm going to hold down my Shift key on my keyboard so that the properties stay constrained. This is how you avoid having something where the heads of people in the photographs look squished down or, flattened out or something. If you hold down the Shift key, then things constrain correctly. So put the picture of the fruit there. And let me zoom back in. To zoom in and out, I'm holding down the Alt key and using the scroll wheel on my mouse. Alt and scroll is a good zoom in, zoom out. If you hold Control, you can scroll left and right. It's kind of a neat trick, so that's what I was doing there. Switch to your black arrow, and we're going to move this cut line. The picture needs a cut line. So we're going to push this into 2 columns. But we're also going to go ahead and find our 1 pica measure. So let's do the font change first. Right here, if I highlight this top line, that's supposed to be in italics, right? Italics. And the bottom line is going to be just like every other credit we do. It's going to be in small caps and in bold. Now, what I need to do is figure out where my rulers are, and I need to put a ruler right at the bottom of this photograph. So I'm going to pull this down, bottom of the photograph, done. Now I can get this to be precisely 1 pica away. Right, perfect. That is exactly right. You can see, you can eyeball it, that this is a perfect square now, because this was 1 pica wide and this is 1 pica from here. Let me go ahead and pull the rest of the text out. When you look at the bottom of a column of text where there's more text and you don't see it, there's usually a red plus sign right there. So if I click on this, there's a red plus sign, that just means there's more text. Now my cursor has become sort of a place where I can pour out the rest of the text into a column. So if I just click right in the middle of the column, it dumps the text. And pull it up so that it's the same height as that one. But I have to go to the bottom and get rid of the extra. Red plus sign, dump it in there, go to the bottom, pull up, oops, too far. Pull up the extra, okay, red plus sign, click and let go, there it is. I didn't draw boxes, I just clicked and let go and it automatically defaulted to the width of the column. It's pretty cool. Before I get too excited about leveling these up, I'm going to make sure that I've got 1 pica between the cut line and the text. So I'm going to pull this ruler out again to the bottom of this lorem ipsum right here. So there's my 0 at the bottom of that. Now I'm going to pull this up to 1. Exactly. Finally, I'm going to try to level these out. Down a little more. Okay, it looks like I've done it. And the last piece on the top of this page is whenever I have a story that jumps from one page to another page, we change the font on that. Because that story is not going to be, the next sentence isn't see this on page that. It's obviously just telling you a direction of where to find the rest of the story. So I'm going to highlight this, and I'm going to make it just like these credits here. I'm going to click on the small text, small caps rather, and bold. And there we go. Now for the bottom is 3 columns wide with a headline and all the other stuff that you've got. So let's switch to 3 columns. It's going to be under layout, under margins and columns, and you will just switch 4 to 3. Now you can see your 3 columns. I'm going to go ahead and do the headline first. Let's do the headline first. So we'll start with where does it go? I'm going to pull another ruler out to the bottom of the top text. And then that's going to let me move my headline to 1 pica away from that. 1 pica right there. Right? Now I can highlight my headline, and in my directions it says to be Palatino Linotype bold 32 points. So Palatino Linotype bold and 32. I don't have 32, I have 30. So I should go up 2. The box is a little small. Let me pull my box back out, and there it is. Next, I'm going to look for the lowest descending letter in this headline and pull my ruler to that. When I have that selected, now I can start to organize my columns. So this big chunk of text right here needs to be split up into 3 pieces. So let me just start here. This is 1 pica. Let's see if I got it straight. 1 pica from the top. So far, so good. Then I'm going to pull it out so that it matches my column width and pull it down to the bottom. Red plus sign, click. Pull this up to that 1 pico level. Red plus sign, click. Pull this up to the 1 pico level. Now your page is typically supposed to end at this bottom line, but if you've got this situation where there's a big space here at the bottom and you've got a little extra text, you can usually pull out one more line. It doesn't hurt anything. So I'm going to pull one more little line out. Just slightly below. It's okay. I know. And the last step on this, in the directions, see now, okay, I still have red plus sign. Oh my goodness. What did I forget? Oh, you're right. Control A, and I forgot to do this. Now it's perfect. Now it is justified with the last line left. See, I still had ragged right. The last thing here is I'm going to highlight this, change it to small caps, change this to bold, and then I need to put your name on here somewhere so you can print it and get a grade. If you have it just like this, if you look at the directions, if you look at the sample and you cannot see a single difference, then by all means, change lorem ipsum to your name. And then go ahead and print it, okay? You're gonna print it to the printer in this room, which is HP LaserJet 4515. Do that, hand it to me. That is your final exam grade. I will collect them either today or on the final exam test day, okay? Good luck.